Alright, Albert, I made this video specifically for you. Explain my build right here. Pretty much go with the highest poise armor I can get, paired up with this bull scout talisman that increases your poise by 33%. That's key so that they can't interrupt your attacks, essentially. Um, Use a Shard of Alexander, greatly boost the weapon arts Erdtree's favor, so I can raise HP, stamina, and the equipment load, so I can wear heavier armor than the Radigan Score Seal. Uh, Main weapon is Eleanor's Pole Blade. I really like the weapon art to counter like aggressive players and also to punish the casters. Essentially, one shots casters after you dodge their first cast, and then you get close to them and they try to cast again. You just one shot them basically. And I put on this Keen Cross Nagata with the Glintstone Pebble. This attack's pretty OP. Um, the Glintstone Pebble basically does like a little magic shard that does a shit ton of poise damage, and then you just go in for the heavy to finish it up. It usually one shots people or gets them really down to like low health. But yeah, this is a great counter for people spamming fucking Rivers of Blood. Um, and then Godskin Peeler with the Beast Roar that basically also interrupts the casters. So I like to have these. If the caster's too far away from you for your other weapons to get in range, I usually use Beast Roar to like counter the cast. Um, and then finally the Dragon Communion Seal. Basically for my spells, let's show the spells. Wait, hold on, we can show it here. There you go, the spells. I have Swarm, that's basically the best one. I buff up first, then basically immediately cast one or two swarms to get the opponent running and dodging, and then I can set up like basically like pinch around the flies and run in and attack them. Um, Sometimes it works, sometimes like I get punished though, because if they use like some quick spells, swarm flies leaves you vulnerable for like a second, and they can punish you. But usually it works pretty well for people that are trying to spam spells. You cast it, you wait, you kind of dodge their shit, and then this eventually gets them if they keep spamming cast. So it kind of prevents them from over over casting their spells. Uh, it's also good like to just control them to kind of keep them like dodging so that you can have a little bit extra time to like figure out what they're gonna do. Um, oh, I guess, and then also the bestial sling. The next one is it's not doesn't really do a lot of damage, but basically, uh, if they're on low health, it's super OP. You just throw a few at them. It's very low cost and it comes out super quick. And yeah, it just finishes them up if they're down to like a little bit of HP. And also good for interrupting casters as well, but the range isn't as good as Beast Roar. So show off some of this stuff here, like Beast Sling, you keep throwing it. It kind of does chip damage, but just interrupts the spells. Yeah. And then like if somebody's chasing me, I'll like run, and then if they lunge in and they whiff, I can use this to basically punish them. Same for casters if they're using like a spell. I run around, circle around it, run in close, dodge behind them, and pretty much one shot them. This one right here, Pebblestone. Basically, you catch them if they miss. If they're just step back a little bit out their range, hit this if they're just finishing up an attack. The follow up like so. Follow up does insane damage. Basically one shots if they have low vigor. It's tough to use against people with high poise. I typically struggle against people with high poise because like a lot of them play cheap as fuck too. They'll use Bloodhound Step with a Colossal Sword and just basically come in, poke, and they'll never leave themselves for an opening. So you just struggle against like fucking high poise gank motherfuckers. And then lastly, the Beast Roar right here, really good range. Pretty much this entire, it can cover most of this space, and if they're casting, if I know they're casting spells a lot, like I'll basically you have this first. But yeah, it's my left hand. I can always switch back to it, and then I default with either of these. I don't. I used to be using Rivers of Blood, but honestly, I feel like most people have figured out how to dodge it. It's pretty easy to dodge. You just run back, and then as they spam it, you literally they're open to like a counter for punish. Anything else? And then yeah, this home to increase dexterity. I didn't really care to increase my like Claw Thousand to increase jumping attacks because I feel like this I don't know, this doesn't really hit too often. Um, most people are good kind of dodging your attacks, so I've been relying a lot on the range attacks as they set themselves up. And then I run in, do a little poke, that's a good one. And then sometimes I dodge roll and do a one. Um, but yeah, against slippery players, it's hard to land these shots. So I'm trying to go for like honestly more defense and more utility. But high poise is really key for PvP. And then again, the weapon art really like since I'm using that a lot, I really need this Shard of Alexander.